And we begin tonight with an investigation surrounding the death of a staffer from U.S. Congressman Tony Gonzalez's office. Gonzalez saying today he is heart-stricken over the death of Regina Santos Aviles. Just over an hour ago, Uvalde police told us they have done an initial review of the case. KSAT investigates Daniela Ibarra working to get more information on this. But Daniela, what we've learned so far, it's disturbing. A family member of Santos Aviles told you that she died after catching fire.
Yeah, I spoke on the phone with a couple of these family members who say they are devastated by this loss. They're adamant that this wasn't an accident, but it is important to note that the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office, they're still trying to figure out how and why she died. But here's what we do know. A call sheet report shows Uvalde police, firefighters, and paramedics were called out to Santos Aviles' home on Saturday night. Police called it a disturbance. A family member told us Santos Aviles was transferred to CMC, actually airlifted to CMC, to be treated for extensive burns. The medical examiner's office says she died on Sunday. Uvalde police say they're working with the Texas Rangers to investigate this, but police don't believe there was any foul play. According to her LinkedIn, Santos Aviles was the executive director of the Uvalde Area Chamber of Commerce. She left that job in 2021 to become Representative Gonzalez's Uvalde Regional Director. Gonzalez represents U.S. District 23, which stretches from the west part of San Antonio out to El Paso. The congressman sent us a statement saying in part, quote, we are all heart-stricken by the recent news. Regina devoted her profession toward making a difference in her community. Santos Aviles leaves behind her husband and a young son who's about 8 years old.
So her family is saying this was an accident. They believe it was an accident?
Yeah, I spoke with two family members who are adamant that they believe this was an accident.
Yeah.
That's something they kept repeating on the phone.
Still, so many questions about how this happened, what led up to it, and I know you're going to work to find us that more information, Daniela. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
We'll stay on top of it. All right, to other news we're following today. A former San Antonio police officer arrested today, accused of sexually abusing two children over multiple years. Albert Sanchez Jr. was booked into jail just after 1 this afternoon. 9 months ago, a Bexar County grand jury indicted Sanchez on allegations that he possessed images and videos of child sex abuse. He faces charges of aggravated sexual assault of a child and continuous sex abuse of a child. Sanchez resigned from SAPD in April of last year, months after the allegations first surfaced. Bexar County Sheriff's detectives have questioned a whole line of people and searched a home for clues. Now they're asking the public for any information about a shooting near Converse that ended with a driver crashing and dying. As Katrina Weber shows us, the person shot dead inside that car was barely old enough to drive.
Crime scene tape kept prying eyes from getting too close to a deadly scene. A driver found Tuesday morning inside the crashed car, who it turned out had been shot.
Took the victim out of the car and started CPR. Initially, I did just think it was from the crash, but as I was doing CPR, I saw the blood.
That neighbor who wanted to remain anonymous immediately jumped into action after hearing the loud crash in the middle of Steep Valley in the middle of the night.
Saw that he got shot a couple times. He has no pulse.
Soon, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies would flood into the neighborhood near FM 78 and Walsham Road, calling this a murder scene. They quickly linked the shooting to a home down the street.
Gunshot victim and some of the folks that live in that residence had some sort of feud.
Sheriff spokesman Deputy Johnny Garcia says investigators now also have evidence, a gun found outside and shell casings inside, showing someone fired from behind the now broken windows. The driver who was hit, tentatively identified as a 16-year-old boy, tried unsuccessfully to speed away. Investigators say that wounded driver was going about 70 miles per hour when he slammed into that parked car there. That car then ended up here, 2 houses down. A day later, that damage remained visible while the crime scene tape has disappeared. Another change is about a half dozen people taken away in handcuffs have since been let go. So far, no one has been named as a suspect. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Anyone who has any information about this shooting is asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. That number is 210-336-6000. Now to the latest on a story that we've been following since Sunday. A man has been charged with capital murder after police say he shot and killed 2 men during an argument. This happened Sunday morning at a Northwest Side apartment complex on Callahan Road. When officers arrived, they found Jorge Espejo Gudino and Jose Yanes Nava lying on the ground with gunshot wounds. Both later died. Police tell us they've learned from witnesses that a man shot them both and then took off in a red car. 2 days after that shooting, SAPD says they found evidence linking 54-year-old Joe Perez to the shooting. Perez is now under arrest. James Cotter, the longtime business partner of Brad Simpson, was back in court today. Simpson is the Olmos Park man accused of killing his wife, Suzanne Simpson, who disappeared nearly a year ago. Cotter asking a judge today to remove his GPS monitor.
I'm going to go ahead and deny your request at this time. So I'm not telling you that I won't consider it at a later date, but for now, let me deny it, your request, and then I'll reconsider it at the next hearing.
You just heard Judge Joel Perez denying that request. Cotter is accused of helping Simpson hide an AK-47 that was illegally modified and not correctly registered. The state did acknowledge that evidence in Cotter's case is similar to that of the Simpson case, and they said the defense would have it all by the end of this week. Cotter was formally charged in December of 2024. Brad Simpson, meanwhile, is expected back in court on Monday. The Texas Education Agency is receiving more complaints about educators posting comments online related to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. On Monday, the TEA told us they had about 180 complaints. Today, that number is more than 250. TEA Commissioner Mike Morath said the agency will investigate inappropriate content from teachers talking about Kirk's death. The investigation would determine if the educators' posts violate the TEA's code of ethics, and if so, those educators might be unable to teach in Texas public schools. Let's get a first check of the forecast with Adam Caskey. We've been watching the radar. Anything popping up today, Adam?
One or two little showers. That's about it. Kind of just like days past where we had a few downpours pop up, especially closer to the Gulf Coast and in parts of the coastal plain here. You're looking at Lavaca County between Hallettsville and Edna. One thunderstorm there. This could drop a ½ inch to an inch of rain in a small area between, about midpoint between Hallettsville and Edna, and then toward Cuero. Just a little bit of action popping up here. Nothing significant, and also some along Highway 77. This is all pretty short-lived action. It's not going to move towards San Antonio, and it really just drifting in its place, not moving much at all. Farther to the west, we have had a little bit of activity over the past few hours, not much to speak of, but Real County, just north of Lakey, outside of Los Maples, along 83, one little downpour there. Rain chances go up a little bit in the days ahead. We're going to talk about that in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. The San Antonio City Council making some final budget tweaks ahead of a vote on that budget tomorrow. One question is whether they will help fund a pair of nonprofits that say the city pulled the funding rug out from under them. The city told the organizations For Her and the Alamo Area Rape Crisis Center that they had proposed a plan to extend current contracts by up to 8 months. This despite both groups being funded, at least in part, by federal relief dollars flowing through the city, which are winding down. Now those organizations say they were surprised and left scrambling to deal with holes in their budgets when their funding was cut drastically or cut altogether. 50 people from 23 countries can now officially call San Antonio home in a whole new way, taking their oath of citizenship today at City Hall. Sarah Acosta spoke to some of those people about their journey to becoming American citizens.
Present. Home.
It was definitely a very arduous journey.
I was just a little 11-year-old girl and all grown up, and I just never really thought this day would come.
Eva Castillo Lopez was 11 when she and her mom took their first bus ride after arriving from Cuba. A nursing student now, she says it's taken 10 years to get to this point.
As a student and life and working, it can be complicated, so just finding the right time, and I'm glad it finally came.
Eva is one of 50 from 23 different countries that took the oath of citizenship today at City Hall. She says it's emotional now that she can finally call herself a U.S. citizen.
What that means for my family going forward, the examples I'm setting for them too, and all the things that I have accomplished so far. So it kind of brought tears to my eyes.
Rabia Wasim is from Pakistan. It took her several years to get to this day. She says leaving her homeland was hard, but she knew she needed to push through the challenges.
It is difficult to leave your family behind and start a new chapter in your life, definitely. But like I said, the struggle, it is worth it. Because we all are building a good life for ourselves.
And not wasting any time, the new citizens were given the opportunity to register to vote before they even left the building. And Rabia registered right away, eager to be part of the election process.
I believe that democracy is power and it's freedom. And this is what being a United States citizen is about.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Today also marks U.S. Citizenship Day and Constitution Day, and President Donald Trump posted a letter on social media congratulating our newest citizens. He said in part, quote, "By taking this oath, you have forged a sacred bond with our nation, her traditions, her history, her culture, and her values. The rich heritage is now yours to protect, promote, and pass down to the next generation." Today, the Federal Reserve announcing an interest rate cut. Coming up, details on how much it dropped and exactly what that means. But first, let's take a look outside at a little traffic trouble spot we're keeping an eye on. I-10 at Callahan appears to be a stalled vehicle there. You can see one fire truck on scene, a tow truck as well. This is right there where I-10 approaches 410, an area that typically backs up during the 5 o'clock commute. So something to keep an eye out if you're in the area. New at 5, the Federal Reserve announcing a cut in interest rates today. The Fed lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%. That is down from 4.3%. This is the Fed's first cut since December. The cut appears to already be having a positive effect on mortgage rates. Last week, mortgage rates dropped to their lowest level in 3 years, with the 30-year fixed rate declining to 6.13%. A rate cut could also mean lower costs for car loans and credit cards.
Right now, the average credit card interest rate is still near a record 20%. So at that level, if you carry a $5,000 balance, you only make minimum payments, you will be in debt for 16 years and pay a whopping $6,900 in interest.
Now, there was one objection to the Fed's decision today coming from Stephen Moran, who was nominated by President Trump and confirmed by the Senate yesterday. Moran supported an even bigger rate cut. The Big Give is on across South Texas, happening today and for the next 2 days. Donations that you make to area nonprofits could be matched and doubled. There are more than 420 nonprofits participating in the Big Give. The campaign has been going on for 12 years now, covers 15 counties, and each year their reach grows, and so does the need. The goal of the Big Give is to rally support for these nonprofits and bring in as much money as possible. Last year, donations topped $6 million. So we wanted to show you how that money impacts real people in our communities. We caught up with Ashley Andrade, who has a family of 8 and uses services from the nonprofit Good Samaritan Child Care. She says she's grateful for the donations that make these services possible.
Just thank you for all that you do. You know, if it weren't for people like them, we wouldn't be able to have all the services that we do, that they're able to provide for us. So it is a blessing that, you know, people from like that can't get, you know, people that can't really afford, let's say, like childcare, which I always tell them, like, it's free, just try it. I always recommend this program.
Good Samaritan is hoping to raise $8,000 during the Big Give. Big Give organizers say in a time when federal funding has been cut, the money will make a huge difference for local families. All right, let's take a look outside with live cam, keeping an eye on the radar. We got some clouds out there, but I heard you say, Adam, that we've also got action churning in the tropics now.
Yeah, we do have a new tropical storm, Gabrielle, that's out in the Atlantic. We'll take a look at that and where that storm is headed. First, let's get to our rain chances around here. Next couple of days, we could have a few more of these highly isolated pop-up downpours, mainly closer to the Gulf Coast. That's always possible. But in general, Sunday up to 20%, Monday 20%. It's Monday evening and Monday night that stands out. We've boosted that to 40% because of a shift in our weather pattern that's going to enhance the odds a little bit, at least as of now. So let's talk about it. Upper level high, Big Blue H, still in charge. Now, there are disturbances out there. They just can't move in because the upper level high is blocking them. Disturbance off to the north. You see the showers through the Dakotas, disturbance on the East Coast, a little bit of rain activity with that. But for us, it's primarily the upper level high. We are starting to see it drift westward, and it'll continue to do that. That opens the door for disturbances to move in, little ripples of rain-making energy in the upper level flow. Also, the West Texas wild card, which we talk about periodically. It's when thunderstorms develop in New Mexico and West Texas and then organize. And basically in a short period of time, they do this. We don't get too much heads up, maybe 12 to 24 hours. That's about it. Either way, the steering flow can then push the remnants of those little thunderstorm complexes our way. And a little dip in the upper level flow, still expected somewhere in our area. There's a chance this could be a little too far to the east, but for 2 days now, it's looking like it will enhance our rain chances a little bit by Monday night and on into Tuesday. So overall rainfall potential, we can't put a number on it yet, but I do want to point out that the vast majority of the rain is going to be from Oklahoma all the way up through the Dakotas and Minnesota. Around here, we do have that potential. It's just with those cut-off upper level lows and just the kind of pattern we have, there's not a whole lot of certainty with it. So it is a fluid situation. and we'll keep updating. Winds at 50 miles per hour. It's headed to the northwest toward Bermuda, likely to turn into a Category 1 hurricane. It is going to impact Bermuda somehow, maybe not a direct landfall, but even if it's just rip currents and higher surf, the exact location is likely then is uncertain around Bermuda, but it's likely to curve off to the north and east and stay away from the U.S. The other area we'll be watching is actually just southeast of Gabrielle. This little tropical wave just came off the western coast of Africa, and as of now, a 20% chance of development. 92 our high temperature today. Very similar days, and we've had conditions that haven't changed very much. Now, earlier this morning, we were at 69. Right now, 91 Eagle Pass, 91 Leon Springs, Panna Maria 94, Schertz 97, Bulverde at 90, and Lavernia 97. At the airport, we're 92, but by 9 o'clock, we're down to 85, 11 o'clock, right at 80 degrees. And tomorrow morning, right near 70 again at sunrise, 87 at noon, and about 93 for the high temperature. A decent amount of sunshine, but just like today, a variety of clouds mixed in. Canyon Lake 93 tomorrow, along with Hondo, Bandera 94, and Port SA at 94. Do notice that it's mainly Monday evening on into Monday night where we had that slightly better chance of rain, but it's that kind of situation where you really want to check back in for the updates.
All right, will do. Thank you, Adam. Okay, Larry, UTSA football, they are hitting the road to Colorado.
Yes, they're going to take on Colorado State Rams. Very good program, and UTSA is heading there feeling much better after their first win of the season, because winning feels good, right? Plus in the NFL, Jadeveon Clowney, well, he is now practicing with the Cowboys, and he's sporting number 42 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore it. I mean, 6,034 feet. I mean, so that's a lot higher than us.
Coach Traylor will get his guys ready to play in the higher elevation of Fort Collins, Colorado in big board sports. After picking up their first win of the season, the UTSA Roadrunners are now getting ready to play at Colorado State. UTSA knocked off UIW 48-20 in the hometown showdown, cranking out 442 yards of total offense in the process. Now, winning makes everything better, but Coach Traylor says his guys, well, they're pretty steady no matter what.
They just showed up and they're ready to go. We're pretty steady. We don't get real high, we don't get real low. I like this team. I like this team where we are. We've played a very tough schedule. I get it. We don't have the record that we want, but I like what they're about. I like how they show up, how they prepare, how they go out and get better each week. And we still got a lot of the season left in front of us. We just got to keep getting better, and maybe the injury bug will avoid us, and we can keep getting better.
UTSA will play at Colorado State Saturday night at 8:30, and the Roadrunners are favored by 4.5 points. Newly signed defensive end Jadeveon Clowney practiced for the first time with the Dallas Cowboys today. He will wear number 42, last worn by running back Deuce Vaughn. And here he is talking with starting right tackle and Still High School alum Terrence Still. Clowney is 32 years old and ready to help the boys get after quarterbacks. He signed a one-year deal with the boys. So what were the Cowboys' selling points?
I'm really saying they ain't had no selling points for me. I was sold because my whole thing is, people like you said, I'm getting older, how much you got left in the tank. But I got 7 primetime games to prove, show the world. So that was my whole thought on coming down here. I get to play primetime and pick myself out there again, and the sky's the limit again for me. And I don't feel like I'm getting old. Terrence Crawford just beat somebody at 38 years old, so I got a lot left in the tank, man. I just got to get back into it and have fun doing it.
Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshown, who's coming back from a serious knee injury that he suffered last season, says he's looking to play in a game before Thanksgiving when the Cowboys host the Chiefs. 10 months after the injury, Overshown says the knee is feeling great, and Thanksgiving was his original target date, so he's looking to play before that, Myra.
All right, Cowboys fans, happy to hear it.
Yep.
Thank you, Larry. We'll be right back. Let's take a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC's Prime Time. Full lineup at 7 o'clock. We have Shifting Gears. Then at 8, it's Abbott Elementary. At 9 o'clock, it's Shark Tank, followed by The Night Beat right back here at 10. Now is your chance to nominate your favorite educator for KSAT's Educator of the Month Award. To enter your favorite teacher or school staffer, just scan that QR code there on your screen, or you can go to our website, KSAT.com, and search Educator of the Month. It's a wonderful opportunity to shine a spotlight and say thank you to the people who do so much for our students and our community. Adam.
I want to remind you that the new drought monitor will be issued tomorrow. Don't expect any improvements, however. This is the way it looks right now. Just under 20% of Texas is considered in drought at the moment. But we do have some rain chances coming our way. Again, nothing too significant, but we're focusing on Monday evening, and Monday evening on into Tuesday morning is what we're focusing on for next chance of rain.
Nice to at least have chances in the forecast, right? Thanks for watching the news at 5. World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.